Hey everyone, another episode of Behind the Barons. I'm Bryce Kuhn, the media relations assistant, here with the man himself, Devin DeYoung. Devin, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Now, Devin, I know that unfortunately you're not coaching up some guys right now. You would be what? Getting ready for a little on-field BP, maybe some tee work, and right now you're in Indiana, I'm down in Alabama. It's not where we want to be, but how's the quarantine and how's all this been treating
It's been good, man. In this profession, you don't get to spend much time with your family.
you?
Not like the norm, but it's been really great getting a break and spending time with my wife and my daughter, and doing some things around the house, and just trying to figure out how to stay busy.
You got the honey-do list, definitely, don't you? Now I've been
Yeah,
talking with
that's
some
right.
guys. We talked with Justin, the manager, probably about a month ago, and he said the same thing. He said there's a big honey-do list that I didn't think I was going to have to probably tend to till October, November, and I got to take care of it now. Listen, this is obviously a crazy time in sports right now, where we have kind of nothing going on. How have you maintained maybe contact with some of and we didn't even know the roster that was coming to Birmingham yet. That's how early on this is. But you all were in spring training for how long was it? When pitchers are cut, maybe a month into spring training.
Yeah. Our staff was in big league camp, so we went down a little early. So I was there for a little over a month.
So a little over a month. Walk me through just are you trying to stay in contact with guys? Maybe drills they need to be working on, or what is your role right now? What are you doing?
Right now we just really have staff Zoom meetings, probably 4 or 5 times a week. Our field coordinator and all the coordinators are keeping in touch with all the players. We're basically just collaborating on how to make this time beneficial for the players. But, we're trying to figure it out as we go, just like everybody else.
Yeah, it's one of those things you just kind of have to go with the flow. We don't really have – no one wrote a guidebook on how to deal with a massive outbreak and coronavirus and all that stuff. We walked back through your past a little bit, and you spent some times in summer collegiate baseball, the Northwoods League. I've had some friends that have done some broadcasting internships up there, and I've done one in summer collegiate baseball. We were probably 45 minutes away from the next team. Northwoods, completely different from what I've heard. Talk about your experience there.
Oh, man. I have great respect for anybody that goes through the Northwoods League. It's 72 games in 75 days. I don't think there's any better preparation for professional baseball. I really loved it. I loved the level those guys were at. Everybody there was hopeful of being a professional, and it was a lot of times their first experience in a professional setting. So I really enjoy guiding young players and how to be a professional. That's one of my favorite things to focus on. Unfortunately, as you progress through your career, you get a little less and less of that. The higher you go, the more experienced everybody is. So the harder to tell them what to do. It's a grind. But I definitely appreciate the grind, and I think it's a great preparation for professional sports and just life in general. Our team specifically, we those 3 off days we didn't get. So we actually went like 85 days straight or something, because we won the first half, and we were we got asked to coach in the All-Star game. We got asked to coach the Major League Dream Showcase, and then we had the playoffs. We maybe had 1 off day.
Well, listen, I mean, and for people who don't know what is summer collegiate baseball, these kids typically in college play a weekday, whether it's a Tuesday or Wednesday, non-conference series, and then they're playing a conference series during the weekend. So they're playing 4 games a week. You go from playing, like you said, that's as close to professional baseball as you're going to get. And it's also the summertime. depending on where you're located, I was down in Florida with a summer league, and I mean, it rained every single day like clockwork, 4 o'clock. So you have tarp pools and all of that. But I've had some friends working the Northwoods League, and they come back saying, wow, I just worked in it. I couldn't imagine playing or coaching and being part of that. So that's really cool. You talked about player development. That's something that you're definitely in now with the White Sox organization. You talked about one of maybe your strategies, but what are some strategies that you employ to try to teach these young guys, what it means to be a professional and how to handle themselves?
Um, my background is in biomechanics and analytics and human movement. That's just one tool in the toolbox. My bigger emphasis is that I'm dealing with people, and everybody has emotional needs, so it's really important for me to have a grasp on their emotional well-being and being aware of their mental state. And I think my big theory is if we're in a positive emotional state, our ability to have a high level of focus is much greater.
Hmm. Yeah, Justin, we talked to Justin Churchley, the manager of the Barons for this upcoming year, and we'll see what happens in the future. But we talked with him, and he was kind of the same thing. Each guy is different; they have their own individual needs and everything. So you can't treat one like the whole thing. So that's something that's really interesting in player development. And for you, what are some changes? You said you're an analytics guy, so analytics have probably taken over baseball. And what would you say the past 10 years? We've seen a major shift, 10 to 15 years, and recently. I know a lot of people are like, we're throwing out batting average. We don't care about batting average anymore. We're going to use all these different stats. For you, what is – does there need to be a healthy balance between when you're evaluating talent?
Yeah. So if we're going analytics based, on the hitting side, I want guys to hit baseballs really hard, as often as possible on good productive angles. So that typically be 95 miles per hour plus between 10 and 30 degrees, and trying to stay in that bucket. How we do that, how we get players to do that is a whole nother story. That's where we dive into the toolbox and try to pull out all of our tools in order to make that happen.
Yeah, you don't want to give all the secrets away right now. I know that. You gotta keep some for yourself. Talk about your background a little bit. Obviously, you kind of have some baseball in your blood. What made you want to go this route? What made you want to maybe to get in this player development, this biomechanics type stuff?
Oh man. Well,
Putting you on the spot. I know.
when I was well, it's just a way longer story, and I'm gonna keep it as short as possible. When I was about 10 years old, I had a guy just take me and my brother out to the field like daily, just out of the goodness of his heart. And he's a former scout. His name's Chris Martire. And he just worked with us just because he enjoyed helping us. So that was probably my first taste. And then he recommended that we go hit with a guy named John Maley, who's his big claim to fame is he was the hitting coach for the Cubs when they won the World Series. Now he's with the Angels. And I start hitting with this guy, and he's got another guy working in his facility, and I hit with this guy also, and his name's Anthony Iapoce. And he's he's a big league hitting coach as well. Now, at the time they were minor league guys. They're right where I'm at right now. But the thing that made me decide I want to coach was I was about 13 years old, and these guys convinced me that I could be a big leaguer, even though now that I'm looking at it, if I were to evaluate myself, I wasn't. But they empowered me, and they helped me get to. I just squeaked into professional baseball, and they helped me do that.
Yeah.
And I remember being 13 years old, working with these guys and thinking, I want to be him.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of people that at least chase what they love doing, they have moments like that, or people in their lives that influence them, and those three guys were definitely huge influences, along with a ton of other relationships that I've developed, and it's like too many to name people that have helped me out along the way. But I would say that's what made me decide I want to do what I want to
Hmm.
do. Is somebody helped me and empowered me, and I wanted to do that for as many people as I could.
Well, hopefully we can get through this current time, and you can get back to doing what you said you do best, and helping those develop their game and continue on to the next level. Devin, we appreciate your time, taking some time out of your week to talk to us. Man, we wish we were in Birmingham getting ready for a series right now, but unfortunately we're going to have to wait until that happens. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, yeah. I wish we were in Birmingham and you could like take me out to lunch or something. That'd be great.
Yeah. Hey, listen, the food down there, people who are going to be watching this, the food down in Birmingham, I'm not from Birmingham. I moved there. Listen, you will not go hungry. I can tell you that right there. So the
Yeah, I
pregame
heard about
meals
the
and everything.
barbecue.
Barbecue in Alabama is a whole different story. I'll tell you that.
I'm in. I went to college in Tennessee, and
Okay.
my favorite barbecue spot is there. It's called Blue Moon Barbecue. It's in Lebanon, Tennessee.
All right.
And I was told that Birmingham is going to beat that.
All right. Well, listen, hopefully we get through this. You could come down. We'll take you out and we'll just film that instead next time. Just your review.
Sounds good.
Is it better?
All right, I'll buy you barbecue and we'll sit down and talk again.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, man. You have a good one.
All right, thanks for having me on.